Hello and welcome to another session of Level Up. Today we meet 58 time, and this session will be quite different from those that we did so far because we are going to focus on the subject that we've been thinking for quite a while, which is portfolio reviewing. And one of our previous guests just kept telling us about this idea when we chat with him, and naturally we invited him on board today as well. So we are here with a regular Level Up team. So me, Darek, Zabrocki, Jonas De Ro, and Wojtek, who is somewhere right now. And our special guest that we had before is Emmanuel Shu. Hello, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. First of all, we would like to thank you all for amazing amount of portfolio links. We got plenty of them, and today's session will be for 2 hour. And we try to give you as much insight as we can during this time. Another thing we would like to mention is that IFC's festival from Croatia that we announced last week. We will do also Level Up portfolio reviewing there. So we will keep posting the links during the session, and we'll keep you in touch regarding all the information about that festival. So yeah, for now I think we can just move on to actual subject of our today's session. And I know that Jonas wanted to take up this one. So yeah, Jonas.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm gonna start by, well, there was a lot of submissions, and some people wrote a comment to Darek's post, some people just posted a link. So we kind of want to keep it fair for everyone. We don't want to, have people thinking that we're choosing one over the other. So I'm gonna chronologically first from Darek's post, because those are the people who post their links first.
From Level Up event, right? Just
yeah,
to make
from
sure.
that page.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll maybe pick a few more random ones, just to talk about. So we can just mix it up a little bit. Let me just get the.
Should I share your screen right now, or?
Yeah, you can share my screen, sure.
Okay, I just logged on yours, so you have to share it.
So share. There you go.
Hey, Jonas, you want to talk about some real quick general rules of what you look for in a portfolio, or what you think people look for in your past portfolios, stuff like that?
I was actually thinking of maybe giving you the opportunity to be a bit more detailed, because I kind of want to go through them maybe a little bit faster and just point out some remarks for the people. So maybe we can get into that a bit more later. Obviously,
cool.
I'll point those kind of things out. And it would also be interesting to hear your opinion on it, because everyone might have a slightly different opinion. So.
Yeah, sure.
But so I guess the lucky starter guy will be Dylan Flint here, because he's the first one who posted. So let's have a look. If you're in the chat right now and you see your portfolio coming on the screen, it would be really nice of you to maybe write something, so that you're out there. And what's also handy is if you could maybe tell us what you're looking for, because I did a bunch of face-to-face portfolios at some events, and my first question is always, what do you want to do? Because not everyone's looking for the same thing. We're all concept artists, but some people want to be character artists or environment artists, or they want to work for a certain company or game designer. So I always want to know, what do you want to do, because that's very important, because you should always try to, stray for that. Try to put the images which will get you the jobs that you will be excited about. If you didn't enjoy doing a piece that's in your portfolio, then don't put it in there, because you might be hired to do exactly that. Okay? So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind, that you should always be aware of what your goal is, and not just create a portfolio for the sake of having one vehicle and one character, and that's something I see a lot in amateur portfolios. I guess kind of like maybe the one that we're looking at now. So we have a sort of concept design here of a vehicle, the first one. Then we have a little environment sketch with the line art in different day and night settings. Then we have a character art. Then we have a line drawing of an interior. Then we have a very painterly concept art painting style, another character, another painting. So it's a bit all over the place, you know, and it's fine. I think it's fine to show that you've got, you know, several skills, but I feel like somehow you need to try to build some form of consistency in your work, you know. I'm not going to say that my portfolio is the best example if I just go, because I put a lot of personal work in there, so it's kind of all over the place. But you should feel like there's a sort of consistency in quality and you know, the kind of stuff that you do, so that at first glance you can kind of get an idea of what this person's capabilities are, you know, or what this person is good at or enjoys doing. And I feel with Dylan, with Dylan here, it's kind of, he's learning stuff and he's putting the stuff that he thinks is best in his portfolio. That's the feeling that I get. He goes like, okay, this is one of my best pieces. But I feel like it's, okay, so look, now we have an illustration girl. Like, there's no consistency. Then a dude running, he's kind of more cartoonesque, more Disney style. Then a portrait study. I mean, you need to make up your mind. You need to be consistent. And if it's not worth putting in there, then don't put it in there, because it doesn't make you look any better, you know. Yeah. Quantity does not equal quality, and quantity is unnecessary if it's not going to get you anywhere, okay? So that would be my first remark, just in terms of the structure of this portfolio. And then next, I think the person obviously needs to work on the skills. I like this line drawing stuff. I think he's got some pretty solid drawing skills. But then when we look at the painting, okay, the composition's not bad, the values are okay, but obviously it still has an amateur feel to it, you know. The brush economy still needs a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff that seems to be done without any reference, you know, here as well. I don't feel like the person had a proper look at trees and how it works. He just, you know, used the brush and just painted what he thought it would be, you know, and then just rendered it. It's like, okay, the sun's here, I need to add more green. It's dark there, I need to add some black or dark blue. But there's no reference, and you can tell that it's kind of all over the place, and, you know...
you know what? What I notice, like in a lot of those portfolios, is like a lot of people that are like beginners or just starters and really want to be in this position. A lot of them just think that we don't use like references, and they try to be as best as they can without using actual observation or just having the knowledge of how the thing works and how the thing look, how the things look. And this is one of those problems for people that, you know, we are not God. We are not like, you know, we are just only human beings, and we have to analyze, we have to observing all the time. So all of your master artists, all of your amazing idols, that all of them use the references for sure, because we have like limited amount of usage of our brain, right? So we can't really let our head and mind just go with the stuff that we saw right now. We can have like photographic memory, but it's not like you can just do everything the same like you saw, you know.
No,
it comes with practice sometimes, and you can be the best in like painting the trees, and you can be just amazing without using any reference. But at some point, in the same time, maybe you lose something, some of the skills for characters, maybe. So it's what I think Jonas also wanted to tell you about the quality and having that's somehow like the same level of quality, you know, on all over the work. So client will see that you are versatile and you can just do more than only one subject, and this is all still quality, and they can just be happy with you. So that's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and about the reference thing, let me tell you, the first thing that happens when you get a brief is the client gives you references. It's like the first thing. They will send you references because they have, you know, done research on how something should look or what might help you. So there is no, you know, shame in using references ever.
Of course.
Put it out of your head. Get off 4chan and put it out of your head, because there's no shame. Everyone does it, and everyone should do it.
Yeah, and it's the same with tools, because there's like a very fashionable like a phrase that you should, you know, like use photos or you should use 3D. It's not like this. It's all about your personality and how you can actually incorporate the new skills, which is of course good. When you learn new tools, you can be happy with it and you can make yourself like a better artist. And this is what really keeps you going, and that's not like, oh, I will use 3D and now I will be just I will be just a cool guy, right? Because you can use 3D in a very shitty way, but it can help you somehow. Maybe you don't see like maybe you can't just sketch out the architecture with hand. Maybe you should support yourself with 3D, and it's still not a cheating because you are doing it on your own, and this is just to make your work better and help you improve.
Mm-hmm. I just want to point out, because I was just looking at the structure of the website, I think Dylan did a pretty good job at just the structure of the website itself. You know, it's simple. He's got an about. He's writing down short text. You know, don't write down a whole life story. Nobody really cares unless you're like Sid Mead or someone already. You know, simple skills, work experience, education. This is good. I would say keep this. This is good.
Yeah, this is the same with contact, I guess. This is really nice one.
It's simple and clear. That's what you need. So.
Yeah.
We are 2015, buddy. So you need to, if you're gonna put a copyright there, keep it updated.
You have to update it.
Didn't log into your website for 2 years.
All right. Maybe Emmanuel would like to add something to this portfolio.
Oh no, I think it's perfect what you were saying. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better.
Okay, I just closed it. So.
All right. So Jonas, you would like to continue, or okay?
Yeah, I will move to the next one. Sorry if it seems a little bit rushed, but I want to go through.
Yeah. We want to. Yeah, we want to take as many as them too.
Yeah. So the next one is Dendi from Indonesia. So he's got his art station here. So yeah, I guess we can't really talk about the structure of the site, but we can look at some of the work. So let me just go through it because I haven't seen it yet. So again, first thing that I notice is, still a lack of understanding to get to a professional level. You're trying, which is good. I think you're starting to understand certain things about light and composition, but yeah, it's still a little bit all over the place. The way that you use highlights and the way that you light stuff and the value range, it's got this sort of flatness to it that is very typical of, beginner artists. I think, for example, in this piece, you're trying really hard to add all this atmosphere and stuff, but you're not really understanding what you're doing, and everything that all the choices that you made are kind of working against you because, first of all, let's look at these trees. There's a bad scale with the trees. I don't see a gradual, change in scale. It looks flat to me. The same with the sky. The sky has a very flat feeling here. This whole shape is on one line. It has no perspective to it. It's very flat. So again, then I see like these little, I think eyes or something coming out of the hills. Wow, I mean those eyes must be huge if that's a mountain. So again, it kind of kills the scale for me. Here also a little bit awkward cropping the vehicle like exactly at the side. The rain feels like a brush. It's my rain brush. It looks like it. Again, try to play with scale. Raindrops are not all the same size when you look outside. You will see raindrops that are very far away. They're very small. You'll have raindrops right up your face. They're very large. So play with that. Scale stuff up, scale stuff down, skew it around. Try to get that depth in there a little bit more. Here also, again, trying to photo bash, but not really understanding yet how to put everything together. But he's trying. It's good.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about using ArtStation as a sort of a portfolio presentation site, or do you think you should have your own website? Or
I would have my own website. I mean, I think ArtStation is good to put your stuff on, and I think ArtStation is very good to put stuff on that you maybe don't want to put on your personal portfolio website, because I feel like your personal portfolio should be kind of tailored to, jobs and a lot of people do studies and things like that, and they don't really have a space on your personal portfolio website, I think, personally.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still share them with people, and that's why Facebook and ArtStation and DeviantArt are good, because you can just share all your art,
I think that for private website, it's more like your brochure that maybe you can give or just print out on the interviews and show your stuff from there. And the websites like ArtStation or DeviantArt are amazing to just exposure yourself actually to the clients, so they can just look up and look at you and just contact you. And then if you have like your own website, it's good, because you can just do a cart with your website or whatever and give it to other or pass it to others, because it's still your own website and it can just have a lot of information about you, or just some of your blog.
And I feel like you take the person seriously straight away. If I had someone applying and he sends me a link to just an ArtStation, I know ArtStation has a portfolio function. I haven't really checked it out yet, but that would probably be a better option if you want to stick to ArtStation. But I would recommend people to build their own website.
Yeah,
which,
okay.
Not a Tumblr or anything like that. Something that is.
Yeah, I just know a lot of guys. They're like going, well, I don't need I don't need my own personal website. I can just put everything on ArtStation, and that's what I tell them. I said it's not as professional, but a lot of people are doing that now, though.
Yeah, I guess you can. But in my opinion, I would recommend people not to.
Yeah,
I think
totally
a personal website is a good place because you have control over it. If you're offering something else, like for example on my website, I'm putting the tutorials and my mentorship.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that help you like associate with your viewer, and it's for typical people. When they just type your name, they can go to your website, because
Yeah, no, I agree.
People like are not connected with our industry. They can be like somehow lost on the website like a DeviantArt or ArtStation. You know what I mean? They can see like others' works, and they can mix it with your and mix it. And if they go straightly to your website, it's all right. It's obvious that it's yours, and you prepare it for the normal viewers, casual viewers, not only the ones that are interested to hire you and just to praise you. So.
Yeah. Let me just get on topic just a little bit more so we can move to the next one. Here, I just wanted to point out, clear lack of reference from anatomy, scale issues. Look at this hand compared to that hand. Avoid profile faces. In a movie, you will never see an exact profile. Like, try finding a perfect profile shot in a movie. It's very rare. Usually, you want to show a little bit of angle so to make it look not super flat. But yeah, I mean, this guy he's practicing. He's getting there. So I guess it's sometimes hard to place exactly which comments to give. So I'm just trying to.
Yeah, because he looks like he's a student. So I think just general comments are great.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is Pratik is his name, and he's from, can't see, but I guess maybe India or something. So let's have a look. So this is like a blogspot style. A lot of people use this. I don't know what you guys think about using a blogspot or a portfolio.
It can be, I don't know, for me, as a normal viewer, I never had like a blogspot or something, but for me it's a little bit like too many scrolling, I would say, because it's quite good when you just go into your website or something, and you have like a nice amount of pictures that you can pick up the ones that you like on Tumblr or something,
Yeah, plus you have to go through pages as well on Blogspot.
Yeah, I've never been big on the scrolling, myself.
Yeah, I think it's good to, like, if you want to impress a client, when they open the site, just blast it in their face, just like, bam, this is what I do. And then on a Blogspot where you're posting sketches and stuff,
you will never get this one. Yeah,
you might have one of your poor sketches on the top just as at the moment a big company's looking at it, and then you're shooting yourself in the foot, kind of.
Yeah, they don't have actually time. They have like 100 of portfolios sent every day or something, and they don't even have time to check them all. And if you post something like Blogspot, it can be a little bit harsh for art director, so he can be pissed off pretty fast, because they look for someone very intensively right now, and.
Well, I mean, for those people, or because I used to be in that position at some point, and it's basically you look at the first 5-6 images. If it doesn't grab, I'm on to the next one.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking through. I'm not even going down there because I just don't have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to assume that people's attention span is incredibly short, and it is.
Yeah, because I had work to do, and then I got dumped on a whole bunch of demos and sites, and because we're looking for artists, and I had to do the looking at it, and you just like, I got to hurry up with this because I got to get back to work.
Yeah,
Because it's not
exactly.
just one person doing that, That's the thing.
Yeah, so even more reason for you to make sure that your strongest stuff just stands out immediately, Just make sure that you try to grab someone's attention because, like Emmanuel said, people have to go through a lot of portfolios in a very short amount of time. So it's not because they're rude or uninterested. It's
Yeah,
just
it's just the,
it's
the
not.
fact that they have no time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's maybe an interesting point. I don't really know what the artist's intention is in terms of
Yeah, I'm not
career.
very clear on where he's going on this.
Yeah, because you have these caricatures, and then later on it seems to go more. Here he's trying some concept art, but clearly, he has very little experience in doing this. So, yeah, I guess I wouldn't really call this a portfolio site. I would call this a blog, like Blogspot, where you post stuff. So personally, I would not recommend you to send this to a client because it's showing, your strength, but mostly your weaknesses in one place. So try to be careful about that. All right, let's go to the next one. So the next one is Sergio from Portugal, and again an ArtStation website. So let's have a look. Okay, so see, for me that's immediately, whoa, what's up with the gap?
Yeah.
The guy knows how to model. Good. This is professional looking stuff. This could be, up anywhere. It's professional looking stuff. But this stuff looks like someone who just got into concept art. So why put that next to each other? That's confusing. Your weakest image is how people will perceive you. I would have just left out the not so good stuff and just kept the good stuff. Yeah, see, the clash is huge.
Yeah, all this stuff is not helping him.
No. I guess this is kind of okay because here you're showing, yeah, this is better because this is showing more of your ability to work in a pipeline where you have to design and do orthographics and stuff like that. But something like that, it's just too poor in execution to even put in your portfolio. I mean, you have to be honest to yourself when you see your work. It's okay to practice and it's okay to fail a lot, but don't put it out there between your good stuff. That's not helping. It's bringing everything down. You guys have any more thoughts, or?
Yeah, I think, and I'm not quite sure of the theme now. It's really kind of, again, going all over the place. It looks a little bit more hard surface oriented, but then the design work, I think, you're gonna need to show a little bit more mature forms, to get a job. I think it's.
Yeah, and I think the lack of skill is distracting
Yeah.
from the core of what he's trying to tell. So.
And it's such a big difference between the car that was well modeled to everything else that I'm not quite sure what he really does.
Yeah, it almost seems like that's an image that was just grabbed off the internet, and then the rest is his actual work. I'm not saying that it is. It's probably not, but like it's just the clash of quality is just so immense.
Yeah, it's something like someone else did it, right? Someone like different person, because that everything suits well in this. And if you look at for instance, the beer, or that illustration, like the bear below the car is like, I don't know. Can you zoom it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about like not even the idea, but even execution and presentation, because of course people just sometimes maybe get us wrong, but it's not only about creating like beautiful pictures with beautiful techniques, and if they look on our portfolios or something, they can see like there is no like orthographic views or something, but you have to have them, like you have to have it like as a backup. And this is pretty sure if you do like a good job and you are doing like nice illustrations or nice concept art, and your client or potential client will ask you for, can you show us something that shows how you concepting the stuff, like how you come up with ideas, how you come up with orthographic views and stuff, and then you can just show something that you have like you keep in your as a backup in your pocket or something, and you can just throw it on the desk, and then okay, this is how I design. And this is not probably good to show like on our station or something, because it's like for lots of people that wait for wow-looking pictures, it's like very boring or something. But for potential clients, it shows your ideas and shows your mind how are you able to actually concept the stuff or design the stuff. So it's about it's on this picture. What I see is maybe the idea is not that bad, but the execution is like it's like from quite different person that I can see that car is. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say people like it looks like he's a beginner. So when you're at that stage, I think it's best to show good technique gradually. But like design-wise, a lot of them also have a lot of problems. Designing things, and when you do things as original design, you really allow a lot of room to fail. And you don't want to do that with a client. You want to take that and do that in your own time and slowly build it up and show the best designs that you can. Like I think he can do 3D, so maybe it's good to go in a little bit in that direction, get your foot in the door, and then kind of.
So more like a modeling stuff, right?
Yeah. Use your advantage. I mean, it's fine. I understand that maybe he doesn't want to do just 3D. He wants to get into concept art, but then use your 3D skills. You could have modeled this stuff probably beautifully and then have a nice base render and actually give yourself good base materials. Maybe the concept would have looked much better.
And actually, it's also a good, I think, the good spirit with it when you can like model stuff and you wanna push yourself into something that you are like beginner, like concept art or the drawing or something. It's good that this person wants to extend their horizons and stuff. So yeah, it's just a matter of time probably when he starts paint better or something. So.
All right, let's go to the next one. I haven't actually been checking the comments, so I don't know if anyone of the people...
I'm trying to reply sometimes to them. So.
Okay, all right. So the next one is from Fabio from Brazil. Okay. So Fabio seems to be more into illustration at first glance, I would say.
Quite nice style.
Yeah, and the rendering is pretty good. So look at it. So again, we kind of have to know what this...
What happened?
Sorry?
No, I'm just looking at... Seems like there was a big shift. Yeah. Like went from really cartoony. Oh, okay. Yeah, because the first image just looked different from what you were just zooming in on.
But I think the person's, goal is not really that concept art. It's more of an illustration, more cartoonesque kind of thing. And I think with that in mind, he's probably doing a pretty good job. Yeah, there's obviously, like, I think, for example, this piece looks a lot weaker than other stuff. Poor anatomy and all that kind of stuff. So you might want to trim it down a little bit. And I guess there's not enough work. But there's more images in one thing. Okay. Yeah, I feel like again it's that gap of quality.
Yeah, it's pretty jarring on this one actually, because there's some stuff that's quite illustrative and quite nice at the beginning, and then then now it's like really loose. I mean, not loose, but really basic kind of paint, learning how to paint kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
it's
agree.
because of the time that it was created. I don't know. But what really comes to my mind right now is just again just a quality level. And if you do like a portfolio or something, it would be cool to actually put all the stuff that is better than the ones that you have already posted. You know what I mean? And you can just keep it in DeviantArt or something because it shows your history somehow. But if you prepare like your presented portfolio, that's something that you want to actually reach out to your client, you just get rid of all the shitty stuff. And that's cruel, but it's true.
Yeah, just
I mean,
hide the weaknesses. Yeah.
but personally,
Sorry,
I try to get rid of everything that's old that I think is not up to my, the level I want to be, because inevitably when someone hears your name or and say, hey, maybe you want to hire this guy, they're going to do a search, and when they do a search, if they don't go to your site right away and they find some old stuff, that's what they think you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just say, like
Yeah.
stuff you're not really happy with, just I would really save it for like a discussion forum or something, as and not on any like, even on a blog site, people are going to go there and go, oh, I guess that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard out there, that people just make judgments and assumptions really quickly.
Yeah. There is some interesting question from chat, so maybe you could guys answer if you want. Catherine Stoyer asked, how many pieces would you recommend to have in your portfolio?
Well, I always tell people less is more, and whenever I send out a portfolio or a PDF or something with work, I don't send out more than 12 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, because I think there's only enough attention span for any one person, and I want to get them to look at my stuff and want to ask me for more if they want more, or just hopefully it's good enough. But if they want more, I want them wanting more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instead of just giving them 30 and then they're getting bored by the time they get to the 20th piece.
So you tried somehow like tease them, but like putting that 10 or
I think 10 to 12 pieces is enough for you to know, if I put in the right pieces, that I did the right, I can do the job. You should know that by then already.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you'll be like, hey, I've had clients come to me and say, hey, well, great, but do you do this? And you say, oh yeah, I have some of that here. And that's what I like to do, because there's nothing worse than kind of going, oh my god, this portfolio just won't end. I've seen portfolios that are like 50, 60 pages long, and that's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for me, it's 12.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good approach. I think 12 hits a good sweet spot between having enough to see a variety of skills and not being too much that it gets bored. I mean, you can't really just send like 2 or 3 images, because it's just so little that the person will get suspicious, I guess, about you. But yeah, I would agree with Emmanuel about around 10 to 12 pieces sending out. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
All right, let's move to this one. So, imagine you're the next guy, like you can see yourself and you know that it's coming, but we're not there yet. Nerves. So let's have a look at Osvaldo from Mexico. ArtStation website. A lot of work. A lot of, again, different quality levels from at first glance. This kind of caught my eye because more graphic and clean, and then if I go to something else and learning how to paint. So I think we're gonna have to give this guy kind of the same advice as the other ones. Try to really put your best work out there if you're looking for a job. If you're just looking for feedback on your pieces, maybe I can give you some of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess not everyone is looking for work yet. They're just putting their work out there.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
Sorry, Jonas. Because I see that people keeps really like sure, like seriously, what some of the people or us or Fengzu said about the number of pictures in your portfolio, and people just typing that Fengzu said it's around 30 the best pictures. Yeah, it's but people should somehow understand this is not like if you have like 29. If you have 29 or if you have like 10 and they are still good, it's not really a problem, because if you go to, for instance, like Sparf profile on ArtStation, he posted around or even more like 200 pictures, and all of them are on the same level quality. And that's how you create like a good portfolio. It can be like he posts like 5 of them, and this is still amazing. And he could put like 200, and no one cares, and no one really gets bored by this, because this is like a new fresh ideas, new stuff, and a lot of amazing pictures. So all of them on the good like solid level. So no one should care about it. So it's not like we say you have to put 12, you have to put 15, you have to put 30. And then you get there. It's not like this. So you have to keep it in mind. So that's what I wanted to add. So sorry, man. Just go ahead.
Yeah. The one thing I think everybody needs to remember is just you're only as good as your worst piece. So the worst piece, that's what people are going to judge you by. So don't put anything that you don't want in there, and really look at it that way, because a lot of people, when I look at portfolios and I ask them, and I tell them, hey, okay, here's all your whole constant level here, and then you put this one piece that's like, it's not up to that level. So, in the end, when they look back and they go, oh yeah, I should really take that out, but they just want to, like Darek said, he wants to put it in just to, because I want to get to 12 piece or 30 pieces, so I'm just going to put this one piece in, and hopefully it'll be great, and then it's like, totally takes them down, because then the client's like, oh my god, what's this? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
all right,
go ahead.
No, we just say it's like, sorry for interrupting us.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point there. I think maybe we should move on, because we still have a lot of stuff to cover. Let's see. The next one is Stefan. More art stations. Okay. I feel like this person is getting to a professional level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably has work already.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah. Looks painted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's painted. Yeah. Yeah. So, and he's taking care of presentation. I feel some kind of consistency. He's a character. I feel like, okay, he's a character artist. He's got some 3D foundation. But I'm getting information not only by the individual images, but by the relation between the images about what this person's skills are and how he could maybe be used in a company. And that's what you want, really. You want to give that image straight away.
Yeah, this is definitely up to
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely he's definitely in this stage that he's more like getting pro right now. So.
Yeah, I think the older work is the quality is lower. So like see here, I feel it. I feel already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But to see, that's exactly the piece I wouldn't put in, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, what?
Is it you?
Is it you? And okay, it's 2013. Okay, fair enough. But why put it there? I mean, there's nothing wrong about killing your darlings. People have to get over that. You did it. You learned from it. It's there. It's on your hard drive. You don't have to share it with the world necessarily. It's okay not to. So I would just take it out. Just delete it. Yeah, it's fine. It'll feel better when it's good. Yeah, it'll feel much better once it's good and people start appreciating it. Of course, you want feedback. I understand that, but in terms
I think
of portfolio,
that person, I think he probably knows that too. It's just sometimes they don't realize. Okay, just take it out.
Sure, but why leave it in? You know,
Yeah,
why
that's
leave it
fine.
in?
You know,
We have
sometimes they don't even
portfolio.
realize. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we didn't ask for show us your DeviantArt where we can track you back till 2006 or whatever, where you were just drawing. That's not a portfolio. That's just your
Yeah, especially like
work.
yeah, especially when you're looking for work. Yeah, as a portfolio piece.
And then, strangely enough, I feel like this piece is a lot better again, and this is from the same year. It's from 2013 as well. So take a good look at your pieces and be honest to yourself. What's good and what's bad. These are both old works, but for me, this is like a ton better in every way than this.
Exactly.
It looks like it was made by two
Yeah.
different people, you know.
Yeah,
It looks
somebody else.
like a 2-year skill gap. Yeah. So yeah, take care of that.
So just consistency.
But generally, I would say some. Yeah. I think he likes you as well, Darek. I feel a little bit of Darek influence here, and a little bit of Kuchara as well, I guess. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Adam Lee is the next one. Okay. Why did I just... Ah, there we go. All right, so Adam has his own website, his own design, so that's cool so far. I feel like I'm maybe already getting introduced into what kind of stuff he does. Let's have a look. Okay, so look, like this confuses me already. I clicked on illustrations, and I'm seeing mostly sketches and line drawings.
Can you try to click on illustration?
Oh yeah, it's got 3 sections there. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
I can't.
just click on the illustration on top of, on the blue menu.
Yeah.
No,
and it's just sketches. Okay.
click on.
See, like
Oh,
that's
I see.
confusing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
confusing.
You have a section illustrations. Why are there no illustrations in your illustrations? There's just sketches. Like if you don't have any illustrations, just don't put it up there. You don't have any illustrations. That's fine. This looks to me like fluffing. You know, don't fluff your portfolios ever. It doesn't make you look better if you have more sections or the sections that you want to have. Only put it there if you have that work. You know.
Just the sake of putting them.
Exactly. Like a guy goes, okay, concept art, you know. And then matte paintings, and there's only one matte painting. Then leave the matte painting out. Who cares? You know, you're probably not gonna do that anyway if you've only done one. So leave it out. So let's look a little bit further. Okay, so this is 3D. So he's got some stuff here. Okay.
Yeah, but the 3D I think also needs a little bit of maturing.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they really know how to do the 3D.
Yeah. This looks like stuff that I have on my hard drive that I will never show living soul. I was trying stuff, and I wasn't happy with it. But again, I feel like there's an effort of fluffing. He thought like, okay, this is kind of the best stuff that I have, so I'm just gonna put it up there. But I don't want to be rude, but let's be honest, no one's gonna hire you based on these images. You know, there are too many guys who are better. So why put it on your portfolio website? You know, don't put anything up there until you feel happy with what it is. Otherwise, you're just gonna feel bad the whole time about the stuff that you have up. You know, so be a little bit hard on yourself, I would say.
Someone asking, what if you can't make something good anymore? It's quite.
More?
That's an interesting question. What do you?
Yes.
Well, that probably means that your skill of seeing has surpassed your, you know, technical skill of doing.
Yeah, basically,
Because how is it possible that you used to?
Yeah, I don't get that question.
How is that possible that you used to be? I feel a lot of times that I don't appreciate anything that I've done anymore before because I'm seeing, you know, in my own work.
No.
And I think that's possible. And you can get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm so aware of like the.
There is some good answer. Learn how to make it good.
Learn how to make it good is definitely.
Yeah. We have some. We have some.
Awesomeness, and I'm not there yet.
Oh, I don't know if it's on my side, but I hear like Jonas very bad right now.
Yeah, same here.
Jonas, you there?
Okay, better.
It's like interrupting all the time. In terms of like connection, it's just bad.
Or
Oh man.
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Maybe
I'm
it's because
supposed
of,
to have like super fast internet.
yeah. Right. Are you Jonas, do you want to go
Okay, I'm just.
first, or you maybe
Yeah.
we could go with Emmanuel or?
Let's give it another 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
And then maybe you guys the next hour can do a little bit differently.
Cool.
Okay, so the next guy is called Pete Sutherland.
And I have to say he's quite pro. It's really pro. And he posted this stuff on Level Up previously. So.
Yeah, you have no doubt what he does and what he does well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The level is consistent. I mean, you know, I think he's probably already working. I mean.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or just doing some interviews.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and he's really showing strong skill here. You know.
Definitely.
He's really putting what he forward.
He shows
it's like hide your weaknesses.
Yeah, he shows.
Everyone has weaknesses.
Yeah, he shows the best stuff, and this is really cool because what I can see is like the sense of the scale, the sense of perspective, and how he can paint. Like its line arts are great, you know, and the colors are also pretty cool. The solid and to make the objects very 3D-like is also very cool. So he can render stuff very well.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like with this guy, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's all pretty much the same.
Sorry, go ahead.
Know? Yeah, the level. I mean, if I was going to hire him, I would know exactly what to use him for.
Yeah. It's probably somehow because of the style is the style of the work, but he shows like he can do.
And style and.
Oh man, we can't hear you really. We can't hear you.
But you know, he's also.
There's a lot of rather than just. Give me just a minute, guys.
Okay.
Just give me a minute.
Well, you know, but I mean, I think this guy at least, you know, he's showing like, okay, he does hard surface. You know, he's very focused on, you know, how things work. His painting style is what he likes, and he's not putting some like, you know, different paintings that he wants to do or another character he wants to try. He's just doing everything very, very targeted and very specific, and that really helps people hire this person because you look at it, you know exactly what you can use them for. So I think that's what's really, really powerful about this guy.
Yeah. What I really like about it is also that he just type what the projects do, what the elements or parts of the design do, like how it works, you know. So he really thinks about the functionality first, and then he can show it in a very, very good, you know, well presented way, you know.
Right, so that's why people are going to want to hire him to think.
Yeah.
They want his ideas because he's showing that he can do that. Because up till now, all the portfolios we've seen is just people trying to paint, maybe learning a little. But he's telling you, this guy's telling you, I can offer you something. I can think.
Exactly. It's like a pure concept art. Yeah, it's like a pure concept art, basically.
Yeah, this is exactly kind of concept art that, you know, like you need to solve a problem in your game. I can do your level for you. But
exactly.
You know, and he's not selling anything else, which is what I like, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And like this guy has probably seen a lot of other concept art, and you know, like his work doesn't have a photoreal finish, but he accepts it and he kind of embraces it in a way, you know.
Yeah,
he's aware of that, but that's by choice, exactly. And that's his strength again, because I guess a lot of other people feel like they need to imitate whoever they look up to in order to get the same kind of jobs or whatever. But again, you have to embrace your strengths and just, you know, make it shine. And this guy really does make it shine. And I think, Pete, if you have a chance, you should have a drink with Mikael, because you will be able to have a good chat about all these nice,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
kind of cool hard surf stuff. Mikael loves this stuff so much. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that they are quite similar in terms of style, which is good, of course.
yeah. So yeah, that it's a good example. Okay, let's go to the
Awesome.
next one. Damn, why am I always going to the profiles? Okay, sorry. Okay, so next one is from a girl, Danielle, from the US. So again, ArtStation page. So let's have a look. So I think she's a beginner, and I think someone told her try to do iterations and try to show something more concept designy, and I think that's a good thing. You know, it's good. The level is not there yet, but she understands that it's, you know, that kind of presentation can help her.
Yeah, it's quite nice imagination in there, I guess. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I quite like the
I like the shapes. Yeah,
style. Yeah. Yeah, no, the shape's really nice.
And this is quite different from those that you already passed, I guess. This is nice.
Yeah, it just looks
I
like
think
you just
classic
need a little bit more
quality is
technique.
Yeah, I kind of like when for environments, she just set up the camera in a very like immersive way. You know, you can see all of the things, but still it's really interesting to see it from that angle. It's like more like a movie cap. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's more like a movie cap, a screen cap. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, the skill level is not quite there, but I think her imagination and the way that she's thinking in terms of composition and framing are pretty good. But she just needs to understand rendering form a lot better. That's the main.
It's getting there, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, again, huge leap in quality. Take it off. I would say take it off. You know, show your best style.
It's like a doggy hamster, or.
I think this is like probably.
Yeah, and I love the vantage point, the angle, composition's nice.
How the shapes just create a focal point. It's really nice.
I mean, it really wouldn't take much to just add a little bit more lighting and rendering to it, and it would just be a really awesome piece.
You know what I like? It's like how she handled painting in the shadows, so you don't see like a pure black. You know, she merges the colors and blend them in the shadow, so you can still see like it's somehow like a grass in a shadow. This is really good.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I think I'm gonna do one more, and then we can maybe switch to you guys. There's no way we can get through this list, so sorry if your name is, you know, down this line, but this would take a whole day to go through everything. So last guy for me is I'm not sure how to Christian. Okay. Okay, so he's on CG Society, and I guess immediately we can see what he's doing. He's doing 3D 3D character. What's this crap? Go away. So let's have a look at. I think my first immediate thought would be your sculpting skills are not bad, but I think your design sense needs a lot of work. I feel like a lot of stuff looks too much like one. How do I phrase this? It's kind of like you have this taste or a personal style going on that shows in all of your work, but I don't feel like it has a lot of value in terms of entertainment industry. You guys know what I mean? It's hard for me to explain exactly.
Yeah, it's hard for this to translate into somebody to hire you for a particular game or film unless that game is exactly that aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that some of the shapes or some of the forms that are created on those characters are partly randomly done, you know. If you look like on this guy that has some spikes on the head, like on top, and look
This
at
one?
his, no, on the left, on the left.
This one?
On the left, on the left, on the left.
Oh yeah, sorry. Next time, yeah, on the left. Okay. This one, right?
Yeah. If you look at this, what can you see? What can you see is wrong? Let it load it.
I can see nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
what can you see is like the anatomy, because it's partly like humanoid, and anatomy is like just out of the place. And if you base on human anatomy, you have to be aware that the muscles and the structure of the body should be somehow the same, because otherwise it's not believable and not convincing for the client, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we used to look at character artists' portfolio and stuff like that, no matter how much you have it in your own style, sometimes that style is like a crutch, and you kind of say, well, the style is, I can elongate this and that, but ultimately we still want to see you do a really good sculpt. You can put one that's like a little bit more realistic so that we know you can do that, because otherwise everything has got this weird shape. I don't know if it's an accident or if it's, if you did it on purpose,
That's what I wanted to say, yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you have a really particular style and you want to stick to it, you kind of can only pull it off if you're an amazing artist, If you're really, really good, people will take it. Like you were giving Sparth as an example. Sparth has a lot of work that has a certain style. Of course, he can do all kinds of other stuff, But, that's like the first thing that came to mind. Or Theo Prince has a very particular style. But they're freaking awesome, so you just take it and you can see in it, you can see what it's supposed to be because it's just done right. And here I feel like the guy has a style, but a lot of the stuff is not done right. There's no referencing to real anatomy. There's no areas of rest. The kind of detail is everywhere the same. The way that he's sculpting, the creases, everything has the same amount of detail, and he's just doing it based on what he thinks he knows, but he's not looking.
Yeah,
just going like, oh, there's creases around the eyes, so I'm just gonna sculpt here a little bit. The shoulder. I know that somehow the bicep kind of ends here, but he's not really studying it practically, and therefore it starts to get the sort of mushy.
I don't know actually how this arm would work, because the shoulder is somehow blended into the neck muscles. It doesn't have the joint in there, so it's more like if you do something that is original or original design, the viewer or your client or potential client can't have a confusion when he look at it,
Yeah.
And when we have a confusion, if it's randomly done or if you thought it through and we don't know really what to say about it, it's probably something wrong with it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend, even for anybody beginning, is put in a sculpt of a human. Let me see that you can do something. Even it's like looking at a painting portfolio. Let me see that you can render in your paintings. If you have a really weird style, give me something that I can say, oh, you understand. You're just trying to push the boundaries.
You
look at this guy. The anatomy is just completely off. But he'll say that it's his style, though.
Yeah. But again, you have to be able to pull off the style. It's really hard to put your finger on it because we can't really exactly say what it is. You just kind of feel it. But it shows, and therefore it doesn't work, I guess.
But that's the most that's the most hard part. If you come up with something original and you have to convince people that it's done intentionally, right? It's
Yeah,
not like,
I
oh,
guess
I
if
made.
you have to convince people, then that really means you haven't done the right job
Yeah.
in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because the work just it doesn't just justify itself. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess what maybe would be interesting for this person is to try to look up and try to understand what it means to stylize, because stylizing can be done good and it can be done bad.
yeah,
And here in this case, I think it's bad. Because even things that are stylized or simplified or whatever, or have this unique, shape language or whatever, there's still a logic to it somehow. It comes from somewhere that is grounded in reality, and therefore we like it and we appreciate it. And if it doesn't have that, it just looks wrong. And you can say that it's your style, but if we feel that it's wrong, then we're kind of right, because
yeah,
we could
cool.
be the client, which means we're right. So,
Yeah,
all right. So I think that was for me last one. So
awesome,
maybe
man.
if you guys want to go through some portfolios, yeah,
Yeah, ML.
I hope that
Yeah.
was.
Well, Derek, why don't you drive and then we can both talk about it?
Okay, cool. I
It's
can
easier.
just
Yeah.
because basically I made a post yesterday and it got like 100 comments, so we can briefly and roughly
Yeah.
go
Go
through
for
it.
it. Yeah.
So let me share my screen. Right, let's start with the first ones. Some of them probably will be, yeah, I can see some of them Jonas already covered, so let's try with this one. It's a portfolio by Julian, and yeah, let's have a look. How to even, oh, it's just pictures probably taken from, oh, it's Tumblr, so. I don't know if Tumblr is. What do you think, guys? I don't know if Tumblr is the best way
You can't
to.
click. You can't. I mean, I don't. I'm not a big fan of Tumblr, but I think it's really not any different than ArtStation or
Mm-hmm.
any other site like that. But can you click on the image, or it doesn't work like that?
It doesn't work. It's more like sharing and liking. Uh, yeah, it's blocked somehow, I guess. So that's
Yeah.
that's problematic part because
Yeah, that's
how you.
problem number one right there.
Yeah, it's problem number one because even when it's like nicely presented in terms of okay, the client goes to your website and he sees like all of the words in one place. Okay, and they can pick up the ones that they like. But how the hell I cannot even zoom it? It's not
Yeah,
really just.
and then they're gone. By this time they're gone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we are like right now we try to help you, but if you were like art directors, we just close this part and go to another portfolio. So what I see, I would definitely would like to zoom it somehow, but I'm not able to. And what I see is a little bit like inconsistency between what you are modeling, and this is nicely rendered somehow. Maybe you used like Keyshot or something, and what you really paint, and the difference is like just too big.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first thing what I would do in your situation, I would just put the option of zooming pictures on, or just build up the new website somewhere else, and try to keep the best ones, the best pictures from all of those groups, because those 5, 6, 7 pictures below those 3D models are just like out of the place, I guess. Even when the idea maybe doesn't look bad, but it's still like redesigning or reincorporating the existing ideas, like Ghost Rider, I don't know, some Slenderman, some, I don't know, maybe Transformers and stuff. So it would be cool to just build your own ideas and develop the ones that you have already here. Pick the words that are quite nicely presented, and then build your own portfolio from scratch. Because yeah, we can't really see more than just small pictures, and this is not good.
Yeah. Hard to make a judgment without seeing it big, but I think what you said is true.
Yeah,
And also as a person hiring, I'm not sure what I'm hiring for.
yeah,
I mean, I
exactly.
know it's more character based, but there's a lot of different things and a lot of different, skill levels.
Yeah, basically you can't really say what's the strongest part of it, because we have like we have some interior. Maybe you are capable of doing something that is environment stuff. You have like another interior, but it's like quite different technique, and it looks much worse, I guess. And we have a lot of characters, and gap between them is just too big. You can see.
Yeah, and it's not really characters too, because it's again their own style.
Yeah,
It
like
makes that kind of
yeah,
different.
exactly. It's not based on the anatomy, like.
Darek,
Yes.
are you actually sharing your screen? Because it looks like it's just everyone's looking stupid head all the time.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah. Okay, Emmanuel, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen, but that's because I'm
Everyone in the
logged onto
comments-
your screen.
You need to. You're the host, so you need to click on your own.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think you're sharing.
Oh, sorry, guys.
You're sharing your screen, but you're the host, so you
Oh,
need to
okay,
also.
okay, I get it. Sorry. All right.
They were wondering what.
58 sessions.
All right. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
but-
think it's enough on this one, though, right?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Because I think people are getting tired of looking at me sitting on a Korean toilet. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, is that what it is?
Of course it is.
All right. Sorry, guys. Let's go back to the session. So we have Alberto Amoni, and he posted his stuff on Behance. Let's try. Oh, the cool thing about it is that he posts something like a process of his works, I guess, some close-ups. But I don't really know what's going on this picture, to be honest.
I mean, just as a quick thing on process, it's like, my opinion is the clients don't really want to see the way you do it in a time lapse like that. It could be more distracting than helping. I mean, it's fine for a blog and sharing and all that's great, but if I'm a client, I don't want to see a time lapse of you painting it. I just want to see the image.
Yeah, it's all about the result, right? They don't really want to see how you do.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see that. Okay, well, if you have a line drawing and then a design and then the final painting, yeah, I don't mind seeing that, but I don't know that I want to see the whole sort of time lapse thing. It's just distracting to me.
Yeah, and the same with like there's a lot of stuff going on, and the values are quietly off on this picture for me. And you can see that the intensity of the values in all of the places are almost the same. The light is hidden from this part, but we have like light here and shadow here, and the intensity on the rocks is all over the place. The same one. So it's a little bit distracting for my eyes. Maybe you can go to another one. This is I think this is better in terms of like colors and actually values, but the composition is a little bit off because if those foxes look at, I don't know, something in here like a bunny or something, it would somehow guide the viewer to this point, and I stuck on this point, and I don't know why, and
and also I think sometimes we also have to ask, when you're looking at these portfolios, what kind of a job are you trying to get?
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
Even a content like this is like, I don't know many games or films that's going to say, well, we need to hire this person. Even if it's really well done, it's like, what are you trying to get a job doing?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big question that people have to ask themselves.
It's more like a little bit messy illustration without actually saying what this picture is about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe if it was done with different angles, with some variation, it would be more like a somehow like a concept art, but it's still not a concept art. What we see in this.
I think mainly too, people just really have to look at what concept art is.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a job, I mean, you can, if it's personal art and you want to critique, that's fine. But if it's a portfolio review, means you want to get a job doing concept art, then to me, I don't know that I can hire that unless I'm working on some weird Tim Burton film and I need a particular style that you hit. But
it's something that happens very rarely, I guess. Like you said, like for Tim Burton stuff, it's probably there are like too many people that are better to get hired on.
Exactly, and they know already how to render it, how to design it, and how to make it work. So for me, it's like really pick, like I know you may really like this on your own time to do, but look at what concept art or illustration is and shoot for the job you want, and your portfolio needs to reflect that.
Yeah, exactly. It's even when you're trying to do like illustration that may be like some movie capture or something like a mood painting, mood environment, it doesn't have like the right angle of camera in here.
Exactly. It doesn't have the right storytelling elements.
Yeah, you will never see that kind of composition in movie. It's not possible because it's like it's too distracting, too boring. So yeah.
Yep.
Let's try maybe do another one. Similar situation in here, we can see the process, which is probably good in terms of people that are following you on Behance, because I know a lot of people just sharing that kind of stuff. But what's this illustration about is I don't really know. And
yeah, I mean, I honestly can't really tell what it. I mean, but by this point, I'm not looking at it anymore.
Yeah, the values are just off, and I barely see what's going on in here.
Yeah, because all you're doing is looking at the door, so that's sort of, it's just all over the place, and I think it's just one of those things where you're gonna look at more composition work, rendering work, pretty much everything across the board just needs to get a little tightened up, and
so basically it comes to get like again to the composition as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's perspectives off, there's just a lot of stuff, and I think it's good, just keep trying, but remember, as you go, think about what job you want.
Actually, I think that would be quite cool tip for this person. If you like that kind of scenes, you probably notice some of that kind of composition in movies, but much better, much better presented in terms of like lighting that create the focal points and stuff, because you never see something like this in the corner that like distract your eye and guide you into like empty space, and then try to incorporate the knowledge you observed on the screen caps into your actual pictures. So that's why we redirect people a lot into the movies, because it's really helpful to get a right composition sense of of doing it and incorporating it into your pictures or illustrations or whatever. So let's see. It looks like you are just maybe developing your own project or something. I don't know.
I mean, this is better, but it's along the same lines still.
Yeah, but the thing is, those foxes are like cute ones, calmly looking at some snail on, sitting on the mushrooms, and in the background there's like some crime scene. I don't really get it. Someone just wanna punch someone or just hit with a hammer or something. And it's barely seen, and I don't know why is it on this scene when it's like something quietly different on the right corner of picture. It's like in other times it's inconsistency in terms of subject and in terms of composition, because the composition doesn't look that bad, to be honest, but without it would be better, because I don't know why they are fighting.
Well, there's just too many elements in there, too many focal points, too many reads,
It's sometimes you take like a brief from client, and your head is going to like blow because you are like blasted with ideas that the client wants to show on one picture, and maybe you wanted to incorporate too many action on one picture, I guess. So maybe let's think about how to improve my storytelling in terms of like adding more elements and more stuff. Just focus on one thing and do it in the right composition, and then you can just enrich your compositions and storytelling. So that's my point.
But I think this guy's pretty much, everything we've seen is consistently sort of in that level. I actually think, this is a good example of the first image is actually the weakest, in that portfolio than, say, this one.
So what I would suggest you is just maybe let's sum it up. We can just recommend you going and looking at the screen caps from movies. We can just recommend you looking up some storytelling stuff, because when I see this monkey, why is it like keeping the candle and screaming to candle is like nonsense for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
basically,
storytelling-wise, yes, and technique-wise, you could also work a lot with the rendering and stuff like that. So
yeah, but if you have like an illustration spirit, because this person definitely has like illustration spirit, try to improve your storytelling better along with your technique and along with your composition, basically, because by composition you can tell a lot of story. So that's
Yep.
all.
No, totally
Let's go
true.
to another one. Kalyan Juilliard. All right. Oh, he just posted his Facebook. All right, so I will go quickly through his photos, maybe. All right. There's a lot of studies, as I see so far. Some sketches. This is really nice creator. This is really nice mod sculpted, I guess. So he also like tried different tools. And this is, I don't know, this was posted in the same time, and you can see like the gap between
Yeah, I mean,
what.
this is a decent creature, and then the
Yeah,
next
this
one
is
is
really
kind of
nice.
the next one is kind of like almost like somebody didn't think about any anatomy for a
Yeah,
creature
definitely.
or
It's like you probably took like nice references of crafts or something, and then try to incorporate it into your concept idea. And maybe you are better at sculpting than painting. So whoever, I don't know, but this shows like nothing to us.
yeah, yeah.
And this is another sketch. It's good that you are doing a lot of studies as well, and we don't really.
But that's another thing I'll say for a portfolio, like specifically on a portfolio, is that if you're
Yeah,
gonna put sketches, minimize them because that's nowadays not people aren't looking to see your sketches. If they
this is
want to
really
see
nice.
them, they'll ask for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get your point. And I think your creators has something special to it. It's like potential, and it's really nice. I really like this idea. It's quite
Yeah.
original. But if you send your client or some client that you want to work with your Facebook profile with all that studies, with all those like unfinished sketches, he just
Yeah,
closes.
it's not gonna. This is not portfolio. This is more
Yeah,
like just your blog, basically your diary of your work, and can never
exactly.
send people that. Yeah.
So for this person, what can we recommend is, from my point of view, maybe do something like this in like multiply ways, like different ones with maybe on two legs or just different kind of piece, and try to stick to it. Your sketches keep for yourself, keep for your Facebook people
Right.
or friends, and try to build a decent portfolio first. Try to
Yeah,
build your
have a site that's more tailored and more directed for the viewer. When they go there, they know what they're gonna see too.
exactly, yeah, because it's I really like it. I have to say it's really cool, and this is really nicely sculpted in traditional way. And I can see you have those skills in when you go to ZBrush or whatever. But otherwise, it's like it's not a portfolio anymore. So you are doing a lot of studies, and your client would be a little bit embarrassed and confused what they are looking at actually. So okay, if you have like Jonas or Emil anything to add.
No, I think we
No,
can move on to
right.
the next one.
Yeah,
You want to
okay.
cover some.
Cool, of course. Let's go to George Bratt. Uh, okay, this is what I quite like. It's like an entrance picture
Yeah,
that
good.
that somehow encourage us to have a look into it. And nice structure, illustration, concept, sketches, and studies. This is really nice. So let's have a look at artist view. Not many of information, but you attach your resume as well, so it is really cool. Maybe if you, yeah, it's the email is also in the place. So this is really nice presentation. It's not too much, but it's all right. Go to illustrations. All right. Let's have a look. Mm, I kind of like this one. Like in terms of shot, maybe the perspective is tweaked. Maybe not. It's for sure it's tweaked.
Yeah, it's definitely tweaked.
To me, it's kind of confusing. I mean, if I had the girl, if I had the
yeah,
girl looking like that, I
yeah,
would put the robot in the left of the frame, not in the right, because her vision, what she's seeing, is taking me out of the picture.
yeah.
And then you have all this empty space in the bottom left, which doesn't tell you anything really.
Yeah, that's what he tried to somehow cover with some texture on the ground, because
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to make, like, if you don't have like enough experience, it's kind of hard to create like a hangar or like stuff, sci-fi, interior, with not using textures and try to actually put all the elements from your head, and
Yeah.
maybe you just made like not enough of reference observation. So try to look at, I don't know, like the Alien movie, like the first one, and the stuff that was going around in the interiors, how they were built, how the objects were set up, and how they were actually multiplied to create a detail effect. This is what also works in 3D. When you multiply something, it just gives you the impression of, oh, this is really detailed part, and this is like very empty. And I wouldn't say it's like hangar or like repairing part, because we have some wires coming from the robot, but where are the elements, equipment to engineer it somehow? There is like
Yeah.
nothing. And how the girl would go into, where's the ladder? How would she just go in? She would just jump from the roof or something. This
And
is
I
like,
think the scale, another issue, the scale. I mean, to me, it kind of feels like the woman is like a miniature person, like
yeah.
a
Actually, not
because
only the woman. I think that that robot also looks a little bit like a toy.
yeah.
So yeah, the first
You have
thing
to,
is, yeah.
you
Yeah, go
have to
ahead.
always think of things that you can recognize to have a human scale, you know. And he's putting these kind of lamps. I mean, those lights here, you know, he's using them to create perspective. That's fine. But we kind of know that design of lamp, you know. Some of us might have it in our kitchen, and we know how large it is. And if you compare, if you would, you know, draw a perspective grid and compare that to the female figure, you just realize that the scale is just off completely, you know.
Yeah, the scale and the lighting itself is just
And the lighting as well.
too intensive here, and it doesn't have effect on the floor as well. Why it just end up in here? It should have like
I
some.
think the person is not thinking about the light source at all, because he's trying to get a directional light coming in. He's going like, okay, I'm gonna open a gap in this hanger thing so that sunlight can come in and I can play with shadows. Okay, that's great. But you didn't play with shadows. You just drew like a shadow part. There is no color difference temperature between the two, so it
Exactly.
doesn't even read well.
Exactly.
And then your background, you're like, oh, I kind of think sunsets is nicer, so I'll just add, you know, bright values near the horizon
Yeah,
and
but
darker
why
up.
sunset gives you
How are
like
you
a.
gonna get a light like that?
Yeah, how
And then
exactly?
your
How it would
and then your
create like
neck,
a.
you're like, okay, yeah,
Yeah, like
go
rim
ahead.
light here, or just white part of the actual, like, it doesn't make sense, because you need to
No,
look how the objects react on the lighting and how the colors are changing in terms of lighting. If it's like dusk or sunset, or you will definitely will see different colors, and those reddish will all be gone. It will be more like grayish in the shadows, because the sun doesn't come over there, and you have like a coldness in the shadows. When the light doesn't hit the surface in there, it can be somehow like a bouncing light somewhere, but not that much. And basically this picture is just too bright for me. I
yeah.
would just put it all like on the levels into the very dark one, and enlighten only part that I really feel that will be enlightened by this light source. So
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing. Just darken the whole thing so that everything kind of becomes a dark ambient, and then create a new layer that's really bright, and then just mask it in, and then you'll be able to play with the composition and with the highlights and stuff in a way that
yeah,
makes this image much more interesting to read,
yeah,
you
we,
know.
we, we just focused for a while on this one, but I would like to go to the concept yet very quickly. Uh,
Yep.
this is like existing concept. Uh, yeah, you can see the anatomy. If you try to like
Yeah,
improvise,
stylizing, you know. You
Yeah,
have to understand how to
Look at the
style.
foot, the leg and the foot and the no ankles and.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He would have probably it all broken inside, so.
Yeah, it would really help him to look at things that are stylized that maybe he looks up to, but really analyze how did they move to that from reality. Like look at The Incredibles, for example, and look
Yeah.
at how they were,
Yeah.
and try to find out how did they turn a normal human into that. What did they enlarge? What did they shrink?
Yeah.
And how did that work? Because if you do it right, it just feels weird. It just feels.
Yeah, it's a good example of it. It's a good example, like this face, like where all those spikes would just go into when you have like a cheekbones in there, they would be probably somehow interrupted by each other. And basically, if you base on like human anatomy and the face, it looks very like randomly on this concept. So if you
Yeah.
wanted to create like a half man, half elephant, maybe you definitely change his skull into the like a humanoid one, add some ears like this, but maybe bigger ones, and make the trunk to be much better, I guess, because this nose looks hilarious for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is for
Um,
that portfolio.
Can we move on to the next one? I don't want to rush, but
Yeah, of course.
we have to rush. Sorry, guys, we have to rush.
Yeah,
But
we have
obviously,
like 30 minutes left, so we have to.
we're also just when we see something, we're saying whatever comes to mind. So yeah, I mean, sorry for that format, but it's kind
Yeah,
of
and Jonas or Emmanuel, if you see any because I don't have like insight into comments on the chat right now. So if you have like any comments and people, maybe those ones that we actually commenting, maybe they are there. So
Well, I will maybe pick up some questions because people are asking questions as well. So perhaps.
yeah, of course, go ahead. Okay, so the next portfolio is Daniel Bencomo. It took a while that it's finally opened. So maybe you should try to optimize this website. Let's go to the contact. I don't see any like. Oh wait, about. Sorry. Oh, everything is like very slow. But yeah, I think you have like a quite nice structure. Maybe it's like too much stuff all over the place. Maybe
Yeah.
just leave those links like it is. It's really nice. It's like Facebook, Google, and that's so on. But all those like subscribe, Instagram, put in there because it's like distracting me from.
Yeah, and like the client doesn't want to see pictures of you with your girlfriend in the bottom corner of your
Yeah,
profile.
exactly.
I mean, yes, it's great that you have a lovely girlfriend, but it's not relevant in any way.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't
why
help
put
you
it?
get a job, right? So,
Yeah.
right. So, caricature design. I hope it won't be only one picture. Oh, it is one picture. Right. So, yeah, you just did some pencil drawing of it, but what would be cool to see it from different angles, like orthographic ones. Maybe some design only of the head or the legs, because I don't really see like a joints in here. Like this is very like a flobby, like the back are just. I see some shapes of the bones maybe, but the ass should be a little bit bigger for me because it's like too cut, and it would somehow probably block the motion. When you look at the for instance for the horse anatomy, you will never see it. So
Papa likes back.
so yeah, if you want to showcase it as a concept, just do more sketch, more variation of it. Let's go another one. I kind of like it. It's really nice and like impressionist painting. I like. Even it looks like a little bit acrylic. Um, Another one. I don't know. If clients see something like this, they will never consider it as your picture because it's like a photo of some
Yeah.
book that you
It's
are
confusing.
featured in.
I would
Yeah,
take
it's
it out.
confusing.
It's confusing.
Yeah, it's not the right way to present.
Yeah, you have quite nice the charcoal drawings and stuff, but this is again, this comes again to the studies, and this is really nice. But look at this quality of photo. What is it? It's like I can see only pixels in there. And why?
Yeah.
Is it like it's when you do like very nice? Because we have to say it's very nice, clean website.
It's a beautiful drawing. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an inconsistency in the
Yeah.
and even just the quality of the website itself. You know, it's got
Yeah.
potential, but it really needs to be trimmed down and optimized a lot. I think.
And this is the thing. When you have like portfolio with, okay, people were asking, but it's like 4 pictures and 1 photo shot of the book. When I click on the subjects, why is it only 1 picture in creature design, and why it doesn't have any variety? It doesn't say much to your client. So basically, you started in like from the wrong side, I guess. Maybe not from the wrong side, but you create like a very nice portfolio, but it doesn't have nice content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It also doesn't have enough content to tell me
Yeah,
enough,
what
exactly.
yeah,
job you're
enough,
looking for.
yeah, enough, and the quality content. So
Yeah.
in the blog, you just doing some blog and posting some stuff from other people, but why not yours? And why it doesn't show up on your page? And why on the first page I see like photos of you and your girlfriend? Why I see like popular posts, subscribe and stuff? It's all really distract my eyes. You should put everything into
Yeah,
this
the
very nice.
portfolio site should be simple and just
Yeah.
hit you over the head with what you're best at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just don't forget that less is more sometimes. So.
And also
Let's-
something funny that I think is true is that you can get away with more of that stuff if you're really really good. The better you are, the more you can get away with. But if you're not really there yet, you can get away with adding Instagram to your website or something.
Mhm.
I'm just, for example, someone in the comments is saying that he's not amazed by John Howe's art, and he says it looks like extremely rough sketches. But you know, first of all, I disagree. I think John Howe is a freaking amazing artist. But he's so good and he's so experienced and so talented that he doesn't even have. He can have a website with just sketches and people will hire him
Yeah, exactly.
because the quality is just at a master level. You know,
Yeah,
his
because he
understanding.
already proved it, and he doesn't need to prove anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he's already known. He could
you
have pictures of his girlfriend and it's fine.
Yeah, you know
yeah,
what?
yeah, we would take it.
Yeah. All right.
But if that's not you, you can't do it. If no one knows you yet, then that's not how you want to, start out
Yeah,
becoming known.
exactly.
It just doesn't benefit you in any way, you
Yeah,
know. So
you
leave
have
that.
to you have to show something first, then you can just put whatever you want. So.
Yep.
All right. So the next one is Irina Kovalova.
Oh, she's one of my students. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I will roughly just tell about it, and maybe you can just take up the subject as well. So we have like ArtStation portfolio again from her. I really noticed that you like dogs, like Germany dogs, I guess it's German. It's not bad, of course. I like horses, for instance. So
yeah.
uh,
I like that.
this is really nice, and
Yeah, there's some inconsistencies too with this one.
yeah,
Mhm.
just I think that this part is really cool, and this sign shouldn't be here because it's just somehow like destroy my composition sense. Like this should be maybe put a little bit into the right corner, or maybe just would be the sign very blurry in the first plane on the foreground. But the idea is quite cool. I really like this creature. It's like something quite fresh, but I don't know. Is it like his throat or something? And those bells shouldn't be on it because it would just create him like a very uncomfortable feeling. So you have to also think about the functionality of the things that when you create like creature, if that's comfortable for it, and if it works now, nice. The idea is cool. He doesn't have permission to get there to probably another Pandora world or something. So I really like this composition and stuff, but this would be just, it's like this sign would show up somewhere in here maybe, or in here, so not definitely in the middle because it's like a little bit distracting. I like the scale, I like the overall mood and the colors. The brush work would be a little bit better because you can see that the grass brush is like almost the same size in here and here and on the foreground. Maybe it would be a little bit better if you create those grass strokes a little bit thicker, so it would actually give you a little bit of depth. Yeah, and on the run, it's really nice. I like it. I really like this focal point and the colors. and how the subsurface scattering is on this kind of eagle wings.
I think overall too, though, she could work on just maybe getting some of these lighting situations a little bit more realistic, maybe a
Yeah,
little bit more moody. I like
yeah,
where it's going, though. I mean, I like where
I
the
like the
things
race
are.
a lot.
yeah. I like
The race.
the world that you. This is really amazing tree. It's really nice. Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
world you create, but maybe just focus a little bit on more on actually execution, because you also can render stuff. You render very well, but maybe just focus a little bit on lighting conditions
And brush economy, I would say as
and
well.
yeah, brushing economy. Yeah, because I see that grass everywhere on almost every of your picture, and it's really makes me like, you know, you can use the same brush, but it's used in the way that it makes me like, why is here like there's like too many hairy strokes. You know what I mean? It's more. It should be more like a one solid, like one. I don't know, like one plane of the stuff that is like created with some bigger strokes, but it's all created with very small hair. So yeah, I really like your ideas, by the way. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. You know, it's really nice portfolio, but you need to focus a little bit on the execution, as the guy said, and maybe just a little bit more on the composition, because some of them are really nice. I like this one. Maybe add a little bit more
See,
space on.
that's where lighting can really help on that one.
Yeah,
Point you to the right places.
yeah, and put a little bit of more space on top would definitely
Yeah.
help it.
Yeah.
So this
I
actually
think this one has a lot of potential. I think her
Yeah.
thumbnailing work was very good in here. She kind of thought about the relations between the shapes and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
But yeah, I think the large scale version just needs a bit more love.
And this is that what Jonas mentioned before, like showing something from how did you call it?
Like a perfect profile view.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect profile. Yeah. Just this is like a little bit. This is much better because you can see actually the face and the depth. This is a little bit too flat, so avoid it in the future. This is really nice. I like the lighting. You probably reference it a lot. You just show the colors very well. Maybe it's a little bit inconsistent with what's going on the jacket. You know, the colors
Yeah,
and the
brush economy again.
brush economy again. Yeah. And so maybe just if you wanna do like proper referenced painting, just bash some of the stuff together, like a jacket in the same kind of lighting conditions. This head, put it on back to your picture, and then paint it. And that's how you can create the reference. You don't need to paint everything from one only view. From the view you see, you can just bash the references from the same kind of lighting condition, and then you can play around with it. So there's a lot of ways to do it. Right. Another guy is Adam Węsierski. He's probably yes, Polish guy. Hello. I like the colors. It's really like kind of similar to what Miles Johnston does sometimes with colors, especially with the trees and the very saturated grass. Kind of like it. Maybe I would avoid the if you have like very nice colors. Maybe avoid those very clean white, like white parts, because it's always like wash out the colors in the end. So maybe just keep it like a blue sky with maybe a little bit of hint of the clouds on it. The same with this rim light, a little bit too light for me. Maybe just leave the color like this, like a reddish, because you just flatten it by adding total white to the edge. Maybe it would help if this house was a little bit stretched to this point. Maybe it would end up here, not here, and it would just add a little bit more structure to the house, because when she got there, when she entered here, it's when she enters and it's almost like the end wall in front of her. So maybe just put a little bit more depth into the building. Yeah, what do you think, guys?
Personally, I mean, this is not exactly my style, but I can say that I was still work a little bit with the lighting to highlight certain areas. It's a little flat for me. But I do like. I mean, I like the color exploration.
Yeah, color expression is really nice.
But I would add a little bit more lighting, and I would try to make my viewer go where I want them to go.
Okay. What about you, Jonas?
Yeah, he's probably off.
Oh, he's probably cooking right now.
But yeah, let's keep going because we.
Yeah, I only the one thing is only with the scale yet. Maybe if that girl would be smaller, it would be much more.
She's a little bit big, but then when you're doing stylized, sometimes it's.
Yeah, you can exaggerate, but you have to exaggerate in a way that is believable. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too big, personally.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. This is really nice, I would say. It's really nice concept of Siri. It's fan art. This is your Zerk, right?
The Zerk, yeah.
Yes, probably some red design. It's quite nice as well.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, I would just say what we said to the guy before, like maybe do like another two like orthographic views.
Yeah, front view, side view. Yeah, it will help because at least it shows that you understand the form,
Yeah, and actually you don't need to. Okay, how his head would look from front? I don't know. It probably would be like have the same kind of structure, but maybe it would be cool to see how actually how wide this character is. Like maybe the head would be very like massive and very wide, and it would be really striking picture. So maybe just think about different shots as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, after this one, can I just share two portfolios as well?
Yeah, of course. Okay. I'm just looking at another one. So it's like study. It's a really nice study, by the way. Really quite clean colors on it. And this is like I don't know this.
Okay, all of a sudden we get to this, like a big change all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Definitely showing some of the like it went from really good character stuff, some suggestions here and there, but the quality is pretty good. All of a sudden you show what this person is not good at, which is the environment.
Yeah. Environment and just put a lot of maybe put a lot of action into it, and maybe the subject exploration. Like this is sci-fi, and what we really liked was more like
fan art. It's a fan art, that one.
Okay, but still, when you see like this one, it's like nice fantasy or fairy tale picture, and this one is a little bit like out of the place. Like the composition, like everything is just doesn't suit well. The values are off. And
then especially, I want to be clear, when you show something that needs design, like what's on the left, like that's some kind of a gun
mechanism
thing, you have to design it. And if you don't understand how to design, don't show that kind of design.
It's pretty hard to actually just show the design that you didn't like sketch out before.
Yeah, you didn't. It's just kind of your rough idea. Yeah.
The person needs to Google Final Fantasy VII gun, and then they'll find the design, and then they should copy it properly.
Or maybe redesign it on their own.
And it was not referenced.
Yeah. Right. Study. The studies are quite cool. Maybe the brush.
This is really good quality stuff. I mean, I think.
Yeah, the quality and the rendering is really nice. Maybe just the brushwork on this one is a little bit off. Maybe you should show like. If you want to, create a little bit more sex appeal, you could just create the soft strokes on this one because it's like a little bit too hard edge. It's a girl body, so maybe just try to stay to how it really is, how it really looks, and then you can just improvise with the background. So this is really nice. Sunny. I really like this one, and you just show the skin softness very well. I don't see the same problem like on this one. And you look at on the feet or the legs or just the boot, it's like all like roughly and very dirty ones did in the dirty way, I guess. And this is really subtle and this is really soft and the colors are amazing. So yeah, this is really nice. Okay, so this is from Adam. Jonas, you want to say something about the other ones or?
Yeah. So.
Should I switch to your screen right now?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so maybe during this time I will check out what's going on the chat. Okay, Jonas, the screen is on yours right now.
Yeah, so I just picked up two portfolios, which I think are, kind of a better example of what a portfolio should look like. And maybe because we've been going through a lot of more amateur portfolios, so maybe it would be good for those people to see what we consider that is better, And so this one here is from Nicolas Pirquin, I guess. And I really like this portfolio. So he's basically got a lot of folders with thumbnails, and they look appealing from far. And then once you go into it, so let's go to the film costume design ones. Then some really nice concepts, like properly executed. This is pro level stuff. Like this, you could easily see in
Yeah, I get the job.
Hollywood movies, definitely.
Nice. So right now we are showing what some of the people should aim for from our group.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and see, then when you come down, you have options again. So it works really nice.
I mean, the main thing is also when you go to this guy's site, everything's laid out very clearly in front of you. There's no question where to click and what to look at.
There is no like pictures of you and your girlfriend. There's no like other blogspot stuff. Yeah, it's not like we are making fun of it. It's like we just trying to show you how to actually you can build it up in a very subtle way, and you are still very convincing in what you are doing. So.
Yeah, I mean this is really great stuff. It's really pro stuff. I think we're probably using Squarespace or something like that. And so the design is very simple. It probably works on mobile as well. These are all kind of things you want to think about. You just want the experience to be as smooth as possible for the person watching it.
Can you go in for a while into the about section?
Sure.
Yeah, and you can see there's only work, contact, and about. This is all that your client needs. You have experience. Everything is in one place. It's amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah, and here you got the contact and Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, so it's to the point. It's really good, to the point, and the work is good as well, and the presentation is good. So I like it. It reminds me a bit of Maciej's.
Yeah, the 3D stuff. Yeah.
And then I also wanted to show.
I see it.
You guys have seen it already, of course. In HD, maybe. Espen's So Espen has his own type of way of dividing. It's, I guess, a little bit unorthodox, but it's fine. I think it's good. So just two big galleries, stylized and realistic, and you just go to it. Very simple name and sections here, and then a lot of great work, a lot of amazing work. So this is really good. It's straight to the point.
Yeah, it shows already like a variety in subjects and.
And see, like these guys have better work and their sites are less cluttered. So why is your site more cluttered? I don't understand. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
It's very specific when these guys do their work. It's very specific. Like this is what I do. This is what I'm best at. And that's how they get the jobs. There's no confusion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it's really nice structured websites. It's everything you basically need to look at. You just can look at one or two pictures, and you know that it's like a pro site.
Yeah.
You don't have like any confusion and stuff.
So yeah, that's what I want to share. So if you guys want to look at a good example for a portfolio website, check out Espen's and check out Nicolas's portfolio.
Yeah, maybe for one of your sections, you can put up some of what you think are the best portfolio sites or people's sites, and then they could reference it or something.
Yeah,
we can basically support this. On Level Up event page maybe for today's session, so people can actually look on them and basically compare them to what they have right now. Right. There's like. Yeah, it's 10 minutes left. Emmanuel, maybe we can go through one or two another portfolios, and then we wrap up?
Sure, go for it. Whatever.
All right. So, sorry for being like this, but maybe we can randomly pick some of them right now. From level up page. It will be just a lucky shot, but I will try this one. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so we have like the guy is called Brahim Azizi, and there is like no confusion because even in the head title you have like 3D artist, so you know what to expect from this person, right? And it already show up like his portfolio, which is nice. Yes.
Yeah, actually, pretty decent work.
Yeah, but oh yeah, wait.
Looking at it.
Okay, so home is like your main page. I really like some of the this design is nice. He definitely like have like very nice and very well presented rendering, and I think it's even better sculpting, you know, renders, which shows like nice sculpting skills and stuff. Yeah, it's quite convincing for me, even in terms of like anatomy, even when it's like a little bit stylized.
Yeah, it's quite good actually.
Oh yeah, you can basically see like that he really studied it, and
Yeah, I mean he understands. I mean this is the difference between this portfolio and that guy we were talking about before. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we wanted to encourage you to do. Like if you do something which is like original idea, or you know you just try to stylize it, try to base on something that people really know, or if you change quietly something, you have to be you have to be convincible, right? I really like those ones. This is really nice. I like the colors.
Cool. Really cool.
And I really love the hands of this creature. Really like those two eyes, and yeah, it's all just works amazingly. So you can see.
Yeah, what I like about it is quite believable actually.
Yeah, you don't have like a confusion. You don't need to. Is it look good or not? The presentation is great. The sculpt is quite cool. So this one again, you can see that he really studies anatomy. You can see all the joints. You can see all the parts of the body that are actually.
Yeah, this is a good example of stylizing what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Look at the sculpt. It's amazing. So look at the back. It's all really
nice.
So
yeah.
Even when the face in here is super stylized, you can see the body, the humanoid. So he really have the knowledge of what he's doing right now. So he also convinced us to look at this face and say, oh, all right, it's stylized and it's really cool looking. So I like the sculpting. I like the sculpts. Sculpts.
Good distribution between noise and rest areas. I think.
Yeah, exactly. He just detailed in the parts that are needed. You can see that some of the parts are like a little bit more sketchy, and that doesn't distract you from the face actually.
Yeah.
Like the you know, it's really nice structure by the way. So yeah, this is definitely like more pro guy, and I think that he works somewhere. So he had some awards, he had some features. Yeah, it's quite nice, and maybe it would be some email information here, so we don't need to go to contact again. But yeah, it's really nice website. I really like it. All right, maybe another one, and we can wrap up, guys. We just keep an eye on 3D stuff. Oh, this is what Jonas already showed. So. This is 3D environment artist. Okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to show you as example of the guy who is already pro as well. So it's like you have like a project that you worked on, and there are just broke down into the refs, into the final shot. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, for Halo you have like all different kind of stuff that he did, and this is amazing. So it's all very clean, and you just you see who he credits, who he worked for, and what he did. So it's really nice. About section. It's just he is really like a he just writing all the information that are needed. And contacts, of course, you can mail him or call him or just Skype. And this is like another division of stuff, is architectural. And this is basically what is here in the menu is already in here. So it's really nice because you don't need to click double times to check it, country style and stuff. But you have all of the stuff in here. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, my site used to have a lot of like navigation and like breakdown of categories. Now I don't. I just for the last year I don't even have that anymore. It's just like you open my site, it's just images. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just almost like a portfolio presentation, and because it's sometimes it gets to be too much stuff to dig through, But I mean, I like how he's doing, how he's separating stuff, but it might be just a little bit too much.
Yeah, maybe when you enroll it if you have like more projects, it can be like a never-ending list of the projects. But yeah,
it's still really good stuff, though. Yeah,
it's amazing stuff that he does, and maybe what I think it would be cool to put some email in here. Somewhere here, or just some contact information. You don't need to go to about or contacts. You have like all information in there. So okay, I see that amazing stuff. So I can just type in a message to him already. So, but yeah, it's probably like just my babbling around it. But this is really cool stuff. So yeah, very pro looking. So yeah, I think that with that one we can just end up and wrap up this session. So yeah, it was a really cool session, and once again, we want to make more of them in the future. It doesn't always allow us to do if we have like a lot of guests in the middle. Maybe sometimes we could just ask some of our guests to actually do something like portfolio review after their demo. So let us know how did you like it, and don't feel, of course, offended if your portfolio wasn't picked up, because we had like almost 300 of submissions. I think quite a lot today, and we hope that we gave you like nice insight into it. And we would like to very thank you for Emmanuel for his presence, because he was actually the guy who gave us idea of doing that kind of stuff after his session. And yeah, man, if you don't mind, we could just hang out with you more and do that kind of session.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Yeah, so once again, if you like the session, please share the information about Level Up, subscribe to our channel, and of course, wait for our next guest session. Once again, thanks, Jonas, for making
also
reviews.
for taking your time.
Yeah,
check out Emmanuel on Facebook. Check out his work. Follow him.
Of course, yeah. Don't forget to follow Emmanuel. He's a beast, so he can always tell you. Yeah, he's a beast. He always can tell you what's wrong and what's good with your stuff. So there is no like licking us.
No licking us for sure, man. None of that.
I have no. What does that mean? What does that even mean? I have no idea.
It doesn't sound very good. Whatever.
I'm so happy to be in a different country than you right now.
Okay. All right. So once again, thanks, guys, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.